Okay, I've decided to make one last video on the whole situation before we move on, continue with life. I read through all of the comments in yesterday's video and I've made a little bit of a list on my phone that I want to go through. Now, I know for a fact I see the watch time. No one's watching the whole video. What I'm going to do is I have 10 points here. They're going to be in the description for the timestamp. So if you don't want to watch the whole video and you're only interested in a couple of things, that will be down in the description. So feel free to use that if you don't want to watch the whole thing. I just want to make it easy for you guys. Before I get into it, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone that supported yesterday's video. I'm making a tough decision. So you guys that supported me, thank you so much. Let's get into the stuff where people aren't so sure with. I just want to clear things up, that's all. I'm not trying to pick fights. I'm not angry with anybody, man. At the end of the day, the decision's made. I just want to clear up a few little things. Point number one is I make YouTube videos, which means people are going to want me to lose and people are going to want me to win. Not everybody can love you. You're going to have haters. You're going to have lovers. Well, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. On top of that, you're also going to have people with this opinion and people with that opinion. So if I were to have stayed in the UK, people would say, Sean, you're not doing enough of this. You're not doing enough of that. It's not worth staying. And then I moved to Australia, people say, oh, why did you do that? Why did you do this? And the point I'm trying to make is I can't win. If I choose this decision, I'm gonna upset some people over here. If I choose this decision, I'm gonna upset people over there. That's why I always make my decisions without my YouTube audience in mind, because that's what I know is going to be best for me. And on top of that, have a think of this, guys. I know for a fact, I've been doing this for 3 years. When I go overseas, my views kind of triple in the amount, sometimes even quadruple, which means triple or quadruple the money that I would normally get. And on top of that, more advertising for Stepzz, which equals more money. So at the end of the day, I'm not making this decision to make more money or make better videos or make controversy. I'm doing it for my football and football only. Second point, moving clubs. Why do I move clubs so much? Now, tomorrow marks the first league game of the NPL. Now let that sink in for a second. That means when I left to America, that first video was around August 30th. That's when everybody in NPL in Australia played their last league game. It's 6 months in between seasons. So you have 6 months on, 6 months off. So in that time, I've been to America and I've been to England and trained with different teams, played a few games. So it may look like I'm moving a lot of places, but really in terms of the Australian football season, I haven't missed anything. From the under 16s to the under 20s, so about 4 years, I stuck with the same club. I left because I didn't see a pathway there. I then went over to England, we tried a few different things. We learned a lot over there, knowing that I went over at the wrong time. I came back, I played with Wakehurst for the rest of the season. I stuck with that team. I then went into pre-season with Rydalmere. We trained there, I fought for my spot. And this ties into another point, which is people think that I can't handle the struggle. People think that I don't want to fight for my spot. I want it easy. What I'll say on that is, number one, I stuck at Rydalmere for about 11 weeks, 12 weeks, plus the pre-season. And I fought for my spot, man, every single week. I was playing reserve grade, I was doing well, I was fighting for my spot, and things weren't happening. And the second point I'll make is, again, this is YouTube. You guys are never gonna know the full story. Maybe one day I'll be able to tell the full story, and I understand on surface level it may look like, oh, Sheldon got dropped. Oh, Sheldon wasn't good enough. Just know some things are a little bit deeper than that. And hey, that's just how it's gonna be. Everyone I've spoken to agreed with my decision when you know the full story. So, you know, unfortunately, you guys will never know the full story with those sorts of things. So after everything happened there and I decided to move to Parramatta, I stuck with them for the rest of the season. And Parramatta was sort of the last club that I played with. We went over to America, we trialed, we went to England, we played a couple games and we came home. We've already been through that. So in terms of not liking the struggle, I love the struggle, man. I love fighting for my spot every single week. Again, understand it's a lot more than you guys see on the surface level. You're not at training sessions, you're not at a lot of things. Just understand that. Next point, the gym. In the UK. Why was I going to the gym in the UK? I think some people skipped through the video and didn't understand this. You need a UK bank account to go to the gym in England. This is why I had such a struggle when I was at Crawley, for all of you guys who watched me when I was there. I managed to get hold of Jay's girlfriend at the time, her gym membership, and I used hers. And then after a couple of weeks, that fell through because they found out I was doing it and she got banned. So we did what I could, but it wasn't enough to get me to where I want to be with possible 5th and 6th division trials in England coming up. Yes, it's been such a long time in this process that it's like, oh, Sheldon, you only now realize that you need to work on the gym. I will say that I was naive to all of it. That's my L. I don't need to be told that. I know I messed up, which is why I've come back to Australia to work on that so heavily. When we came back from America, I learned so much from Matt And during that time, from America to when I was going to go to Thailand to when I was going to go to England, that was my time period to really work on it. But when I came back from America, man, my mental health, which I always talk about, it's so important. Make sure you're looking after yourself. My mental health was so out of whack. I was so down about everything that kind of happened in America, and it was tough to kind of get up and get doing things, which looking back, I should have got out and done those things because that would have been better for me, but just mentally I couldn't get up to it. So again, that's why I'm back here. Work on the gym. We have full access. I'm going to be hitting it about 6 times a week. We're going to be doing different splits on different days. It's just going to be much, much better, man. Following on from what you guys may perceive as excuses, I see a lot of people saying that I make excuses for certain things. Even just that most recent story about the mental health and coming back from America. People view that as an excuse, but I mean, guys, I don't just say this for myself, because at the end of the day, I'm not fussed. If you think it's an excuse, that's fine. It doesn't bother me because I know what I was going through. For you guys out there, keep your mental health in check. For training sessions that I miss or training sessions that I have to stop because I feel a niggle somewhere, it's not an excuse. It's looking after my body. Again, there's a reason I have never missed a game in my career through injury, except for when I got stomped on and I missed 9 months through surgery. That's something I couldn't prevent. That was just completely unlucky. So again, if you want to view my decisions as excuses, it's fine. I'm not bothered. I know for me, they're not excuses. And for this period right now, I'm so keen to work hard. Brief point this one, 3 years of vlogging, 3 years of documenting this journey. Man, I've been doing this just because I've documented my journey for 3 years. I've been wanting to become a pro for as long as I can remember. I'm sure that's the same for a lot of footballers out there. Just because I've shown almost every day over the last 3 years, it doesn't make me more special than the next guy who's 18 years old and been trying to become a pro and he's now 24. I think a lot of you guys think that these things come quick. I should be a pro like this. It just doesn't happen. And for some it does. For me, no, we keep working. The next point is the CV. Having Redditch on the CV. Yes, that's great. Number one, the most important thing is, and I think you guys will find this because I can already predict it. When I get trials at 5th division, 6th division, this is through people I know, and football is a big game of who you know. And so what's gonna happen is I'll get these trials in 5th or 6th division and people will comment, wow, it really goes to show football's about who you know. It's true, man. It's simply true. Contacts are so important. If you have a good contact, I can promise you're gonna get places. As long as you have the ability to back it up, of course. So yes, having Redditch on the CV is a nice to have, but if I have a contact who can get me those trials kind of regardless, it's like, okay, why would I get those 10 games at Redditch on the CV when I can come back to Australia and really prepare myself and get myself in the best physical condition possible to be ready for those trials when they come. That's what it is, man. Football is a game of who you know. It's unfortunate, it's how it is. Next up, playing games in England. Yes, this was a huge benefit for me. I would have been able to get used to the play style, get used to the weather, get used to the pitches, all those sorts of things. There's a couple of things with this which is interesting, that at sort of 6th and 5th division, the style of play will be slightly different. The fields will be slightly different. They may not be major, but there will be a difference. I'll be going to play in a league that is very physical as well. Pretty much everyone in the league knows me from when I played there last time, and I will be a target, which means it is going to be very physical for me. So yes, that is a benefit of playing in England, that I was going to get those 10 games, but the benefits of coming back to Australia and preparing for those trials, it just outweighed it. The last point that I have, it's funny, it seems like you guys know me better than I know myself. People saying that I'm homesick and that's why I came home. I don't have anything against anyone who is homesick. I've known players who, you know, were on the brink of signing a contract and they had to come home because they just couldn't do it. They couldn't be away from their family. If you watch the end of the video, I said, hand on heart, this decision has nothing to do with homesickness. For me, it's all football, man. What's going to be best for these upcoming trials? It's not about money, it's not about this, it's not about that. What's going to be best for my football? And on top of that, we'll go into money. Guys, like, I save my money. I'm not like people saying, oh, it's such a waste of money to go over to England, you know, have those flights and pay that money. Like, waste of money. Number one, it's my money. I mean, it doesn't matter what I do with my money. I don't kind of hustle you guys and say, oh, why are you buying this? Why are you buying that? It's your money, man. You do what you want to do with it. And secondly, I had a meeting over there which was worth the trip. That's how you have to look at it. So I had a meeting with this contact, and it was worth going over, even if it was just for that meeting. So, man, it was worth it, and it's my money, and I'm fine with it. That's the last video on this. I don't want to talk on this again or do a longer video on this again. We may pop it up in a video here and there just to say this is why we're here. But honestly, man, at the end of the day, the decision's made. It's done for. You can continue watching me. You can stop watching me. You can start watching me again when I go back to England, because that's a guarantee. I'll be there for pre-season. It doesn't bother me, man. I'm not in this for the thousands and thousands of YouTube views. If I was, I would have just stayed in England. I'm here to document my journey, and it's as simple as that. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be things you guys don't agree with, there's going to be things you guys do agree with. But at the end of the day, this is the journey, man. And I'm excited. I can't wait for the future. So Team Tweety, I'm signing out. Make sure you like and subscribe and enjoy your house in Bye.